Learn English through a simple life story. Listen and improve your English every day. Audrey Hepburn is remembered as one of the most elegant and beloved actresses in history. When people think of her, they often imagine beauty, grace, and timeless style. However, her life did not begin in comfort or luxury. In fact, her story began during one of the darkest periods in human history. Audrey Hepburn was born in 1929 in Belgium. When she was still a young child, World War II began. Because of the war, her family moved to the Netherlands, hoping to find safety. But life there quickly became very difficult. Food became scarce. Cities were damaged. Families lived in constant fear. Like many others, Audrey and her family struggled just to survive. There were days when they had almost nothing to eat. Sometimes they lived on small pieces of bread. Other times, they survived on tulip bulbs. As a child, Audrey experienced real hunger. This was not something she ever forgot. Many years later, even when she became famous, she said that the memory of hunger stayed with her forever. Despite these hardships, Audrey discovered something that gave her hope. She loved art, she loved music, and most of all, she loved dancing. Ballet became her greatest passion. When she danced, she felt free. When she danced, she felt alive. She began to dream of becoming a professional ballerina. Even during the war, Audrey practiced whenever she could. She believed that if she worked hard enough, dancing might give her a better future. After the war ended, Audrey moved to London to study ballet seriously. She trained long hours every day. She pushed herself to improve. But soon she received difficult news. Her teachers told her that she was too tall and too thin to become a top-level ballerina. For Audrey, this was heartbreaking. She had spent years chasing this dream. Now it felt like the door had closed. For a while, she felt lost. But Audrey did not give up on herself. Instead, she looked for another path. Slowly, she began to explore acting. At first, her opportunities were very small. She appeared in advertisements. She worked as a model. She took tiny roles in theater and film. Most people did not notice her. Most people did not believe she would become famous. But Audrey continued working. She remained patient. She remained humble. Then, something unexpected happened. Audrey was cast in a Broadway play called Gigi. Her performance surprised everyone. Audiences loved her. Critics praised her. For the first time, people began to see her true potential. Not long after, Hollywood took notice. Audrey was offered a leading role in the film Roman Holiday. In the movie, she played a young princess who wants to experience normal life. The role suited her perfectly. She was charming. She was sincere. She felt real. Audrey's performance touched people around the world. She won an Academy Award for this role. Almost overnight, Audrey Hepburn became a star. However, fame did not change who she was. She remained quiet and gentle. She remained modest. She often said that she felt shy and uncomfortable with too much attention. Behind her success, Audrey still struggled. She sometimes doubted herself. She experienced difficult relationships. She longed for a stable and loving family. Although her films were successful, her personal life was not always easy. Yet Audrey chose not to become bitter. Instead, she chose compassion. As she grew older, Audrey became deeply involved in humanitarian work. She began working with UNICEF. She traveled to some of the poorest places in the world. She met children who were hungry, sick, and homeless. When she looked at these children, she saw her own past. She understood their pain. Audrey did not just visit these places. She listened. She spoke out. She used her fame to bring attention to their suffering. She once said, "As you grow older, you will discover that you have two hands, one for helping yourself and one for helping others." These words became the way she lived. Audrey did not measure success by money. She did not measure success by awards. She measured success by how much good she could do. Audrey Hepburn passed away in 1993, but her story did not end. People still watch her movies. People still admire her style. More importantly, people still admire her heart. Her life teaches us an important lesson. You do not need a perfect beginning to create a meaningful life. Pain can shape empathy. Failure can lead to new directions. True beauty does not come from fame or wealth. True beauty comes from kindness. Audrey Hepburn was more than a movie star. She was a survivor. She was a dreamer. She was a helper. And she showed the world that the most powerful legacy is a kind heart